The Los Angeles Lakers dropped a painful home game against the Orlando Magic on Tuesday night at Crypto.com Arena. And while the final possession sparked a wave of controversy involving stars Luka Doncic and LeBron James, another story quietly emerged from the locker room afterward. Center Deandre Ayton had one of the best individual performances of his Lakers tenure, and his comments following the game are now generating a significant amount of attention around the league. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. Ayton finished the contest with 21 points and 13 rebounds, shooting an efficient 8 for 11 from the field. It was his first double-double of the month of February, and only the second time he reached double digits in both categories since January 30th, when he dominated the Washington Wizards with 28 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks, and a steal on 85.7% shooting from the floor. That game was arguably the best of his entire stint with Los Angeles, but after that explosive outing, Ayton struggled to find the same rhythm or volume of opportunities in the weeks that followed. After the game against Orlando, Ayton spoke with reporters and addressed something that has been clear throughout much of the season. He believes his teammates trust him when he is active and engaged near the basket. "The ball finds energy," Ayton said. "They believe in me when I'm down there and sealing, and they see me running hard to the rim and crashing. They reward me." The statement reflected a player who understands that his effectiveness is closely tied to effort and positioning, and that the results will follow when he puts in the work near the paint. But the biggest headlines from that locker room session came from a different quote entirely. Before heading to the showers, Ayton blurted out a statement that quickly caught the attention of reporters in the room. According to ESPN's Dave McMenamin, the veteran center said he refuses to be reduced to the role of a catch-and-finish big man with limited scoring responsibilities. "They're trying to make me Clint Capella," Ayton said, referencing the Houston Rockets backup center who built his NBA reputation as a lob-catching, rim-running specialist a decade ago during Houston's run to back-to-back conference finals. Ayton made his position on the matter crystal clear. "I'm not no Clint Capella." The comment was notable because it reveals a tension between Ayton and the role the coaching staff has seemingly defined for him within Los Angeles' offensive system. Ayton, who was the #1 overall pick in the 2018 NBA draft, has always seen himself as a complete offensive player capable of operating in the post, hitting mid-range jumpers, and contributing in the pick and roll. Being limited to a role of pure finisher around the basket is something he has clearly resisted throughout his time with the Lakers. In the last 7 games before the Orlando contest, he had reached double digits in field goal attempts only twice, suggesting that his opportunities in the offense have been inconsistent at best. Veteran guard Marcus Smart, who joined the Lakers as a free agent this past offseason along with Ayton and forward Jake LaRavia, offered a measured take on his teammates' contributions so far this season. "I think he's done okay," Smart said. "He definitely could be better. We all could. But the thing I love about it is he understands it and he's working. We all are trying to figure it out. This is new to everybody. He's doing his best, but he understands it's another notch that we need him to go to, and we're going to try to get him there and help with that. But he knows he's got to do his part as well." Smart's comment struck a delicate balance between acknowledging Ayton's potential and making clear that more is expected from the starting center as the regular season winds down. With roughly 25 games remaining on the Lakers' schedule, the questions surrounding Ayton's role and his relationship with the team's offensive structure are now very much in the open. Head coach JJ Redick will need to decide whether to make Ayton a more central part of the offense going forward or to continue relying on the team's 2 superstar players, Luka Doncic and LeBron James, as the primary engines of the attack. Ayton's size and activity around the rim give Los Angeles a valuable inside presence, but it is clear the former #1 pick wants more than just screen setting and lob catching duties. The next few weeks could determine exactly where Ayton fits in this team's plans, both for the remainder of this season and potentially beyond. It is worth noting that the Lakers currently rank among the bottom third of the league in bench scoring, and their interior offense has been inconsistent throughout the year. Ayton, when given proper touches and allowed to operate in the post or as a rolling big, has shown flashes of the player who averaged 18 points and 10 rebounds per game earlier in his career. The problem has been consistency and opportunity. When Doncic and James dominate the ball, as they do on most possessions, role players like Ayton often find themselves on the perimeter waiting rather than being integrated into the offensive flow. His outburst in the locker room may have been unfiltered, but it spoke to a real tension that has been building for months. Whether JJ Redick responds by designing more plays around his starting center or maintains the current structure, this dynamic will be one of the key storylines to watch as the Lakers push toward the postseason. The Los Angeles Lakers entered Tuesday night's home game against the Orlando Magic with a chance to finish their lengthy homestand on a positive note. Instead, they fell in heartbreaking fashion when a final possession miscommunication between superstars Luka Doncic and LeBron James left the team without a clean look at the basket. The result was a missed, heavily contested, fadeaway three-pointer by James at the buzzer, and another loss that raised more questions about this roster's ability to close out games when it matters most. Head coach JJ Redick addressed the media in his post-game press conference and did not shy away from the controversy surrounding the final play. The Lakers had designed a play specifically to get Doncic an open look at a go-ahead shot. Doncic did receive the ball in a favorable position, but made the unexpected decision to pass it to James rather than attempting the shot himself. Redick acknowledged the confusion after the game. "I haven't had a chance to really get into it with Luka," Redick said. "We obviously ran a play for him to get a look. I felt like he had a decent shot. I don't know if he thought Jonathan Isaac was going to overhelp when he hit LeBron there." It was a moment that crystallized some of the broader concerns that have surrounded the Lakers throughout this 2025-26 campaign. Doncic and James are two of the most talented players in the history of the sport, but moments like these reveal the growing pains that come with two franchise-level stars trying to share responsibility in the most critical moments of close games. There is no clear pecking order in those final seconds, and on Tuesday night, the lack of clarity cost Los Angeles the game. Doncic was candid with reporters after the contest, acknowledging that he probably should have been more aggressive. "I know I was open, but I just thought I was a little bit far," the Lakers star said. "Tried to take one dribble closer. I probably shouldn't have picked up the ball and just tried to attack. I thought it was enough time. There was 6 or 7 seconds, enough time to get a better look, try to drive the ball, so that's why I picked up my dribble." His honesty was appreciated, but the play calling confusion it revealed is not something that can be easily dismissed. James, for his part, offered a more detached perspective. When asked to assess the team's last 3 weeks, he deflected entirely. "I don't know. I didn't even know what today was when I woke up. You asked me about the last 3 weeks. I'm the wrong guy to ask, champ." The comment was vintage James, part humor and part evasion, but underneath it is a reality the Lakers cannot avoid. The team finished its 8-game homestand with a 4-4 record, which is a mediocre outcome for a franchise that has aspirations of competing deep into the playoffs. Redick summed up the situation with 3 words that immediately resonated across the basketball world. "We're a work in progress." Short, direct, and honest, but also the kind of statement that carries weight when spoken by the head coach of a team featuring 2 of the biggest names in the sport. The phrase acknowledged that chemistry, trust, and execution are all still developing on this roster, which is both a reasonable explanation and a legitimate cause for concern given the amount of regular season games already played. After the homestand, the Lakers now head back on the road with a demanding stretch ahead. They are scheduled to face the Phoenix Suns on Thursday, travel to take on the Golden State Warriors in the Bay Area on Saturday, and then return home to host the Sacramento Kings on Sunday. Winning on the road against quality Western Conference opponents will require more than talented names on the back of jerseys. It will require the kind of communication, decision-making, and composure the team failed to demonstrate on Tuesday. With roughly 25 games remaining, the pressure to prove this roster can perform in critical moments is only going to intensify. The time for being a work in progress is quickly running out. The larger issue goes beyond a single play call. The Lakers have struggled defensively for much of this season, and while their offense has generally been productive thanks to Doncic and James, moments of late-game incoherence have shown up repeatedly. A team at this stage of the season should have clear, rehearsed solutions for end-of-game situations. The fact that even the players themselves were uncertain about who should take the final shot, and the coach needed to get into it with his star point guard after the fact, is a red flag that cannot be ignored. There is also the matter of team identity. When Redick says the Lakers are a work in progress, one has to wonder, at what point does the work become a finished product? Several players arrived this offseason on short-term deals, meaning the construction of this roster was always experimental to some degree. What Redick and the front office built was designed to see if this collection of talent could mesh quickly enough to matter in the postseason. Right now, the evidence from Tuesday night suggests there is still meaningful work to be done. The upcoming road trip will serve as a critical temperature check for a team trying to prove it belongs among the legitimate title contenders in the Western Conference. As the Los Angeles Lakers continue to navigate a difficult stretch of the regular season, one name keeps coming up in discussions about what the team is missing: Najee Marshall. The 28-year-old forward currently plays for the Dallas Mavericks, the very franchise that traded Luka Doncic to the Lakers earlier this season. And as Marshall continues to thrive in Dallas on a team-friendly contract, the Lakers are left wondering what might have been if they had moved to acquire him before the 2026 NBA trade deadline. Marshall played alongside Doncic during the 2024-25 season in Dallas, and the two developed a clear on-court connection during that time. There was a natural familiarity between them, built on shared experience and mutual understanding of each other's tendencies. Bringing Marshall to Los Angeles would have given Doncic a familiar face, someone who already knew how to play off of him, when to cut, when to space the floor, and how to complement his style without demanding the ball. That kind of pre-existing chemistry is genuinely difficult to build from scratch, and the Lakers have spent much of this season trying to establish it with players who are still learning Doncic's rhythms. The statistical case for Marshall is compelling. This season, he is averaging 15.2 points, 4.9 rebounds, 3.0 assists, and 1.1 steals per game. He shoots 53% from the field overall and is converting at a high rate on drives to the basket, finishing at 58.1% on 7.6 drive attempts per game. Among current Lakers players, only Doncic and Austin Reeves generate more drives per contest, which means Marshall would have represented a third ball handler capable of creating offense off the dribble, a skill the team's second unit desperately lacks. The Lakers currently rank 29th in the league in bench scoring, which is one of the most alarming statistics for a team with legitimate playoff aspirations. Their second unit has no reliable creator, no player who can manufacture offense when the primary stars need rest. Marshall would have addressed that problem directly. He is a crafty scorer who operates effectively in the mid-range, finishes through contact at the rim, and rarely needs to be set up by others. His ability to generate offense independently could have transformed the Lakers bench unit from a liability into an asset. Defensively, the value Marshall would have brought is even more striking. The Lakers ranked 24th in defensive rating this season, a troubling number for a contending team. Marshall ranks in the 95th percentile in perimeter isolation defense and in matchup difficulty as an on-ball defender, according to Basketball Index. He has held elite guards and forwards to shooting percentages well below their averages this season, demonstrating rare versatility to cover multiple positions with consistency. Head coach JJ Redick has shown a talent for helping players thrive defensively within his system, but he currently does not have a true lockdown wing defender to deploy in critical situations. Marshall would have filled that void precisely. Beyond the numbers, there is a basketball intelligence to Marshall's game that fits what the Lakers need around Doncic. He does not require the ball to stay productive. He moves without it, creates for others when given the opportunity, and makes smart decisions in high-pressure moments. Those qualities are exactly what a team built around two dominant ball-dominant stars requires from its complementary pieces. Instead, Marshall and his $9 million salary will remain in Dallas, continuing to thrive on a team that no longer has Doncic, but still benefits from his versatile contributions. The Lakers, for their part, will head into the postseason hoping that someone on their roster can rise to the occasion in the moments where a player of Marshall's caliber would have made a tangible difference. It is a missed opportunity that may prove costly when the games matter most. What makes this situation more frustrating for Lakers fans is how clear the fit would have been. Marshall is not a player who demands a featured role or a maximum contract. He is the type of professional who accepts a defined role and executes it with discipline and effort every night. At $9 million per season, he represents exactly the kind of high-value, low-cost contributor that championship rosters are built around. The front office had the opportunity to bring him in before the trade deadline, and the decision not to pursue that move will likely be debated throughout the remainder of this season. The Lakers are not a bad team. They have two of the most gifted players in the world, and on a good night, that is enough to beat anyone. But the margin between a competitive playoff team and a genuine title contender often comes down to depth, defensive versatility, and the ability of role players to perform under pressure. Marshall checks all three of those boxes. The fact that he is thriving in Dallas, while Los Angeles ranks near the bottom of the league in bench production and defensive efficiency, makes the missed opportunity that much harder to dismiss. As the postseason approaches, the Lakers will find out whether their roster as currently constructed is capable of the kind of sustained excellence required to win a championship, and they may do so wishing they had made one more move before the deadline closed.